everybody, and welcome back to the channel and to the Ultimate Racing League. This is our brand new Sunday season that we've all been waiting for what seems an absolute age. But we are here now, and we're at race 2. We are down in Kent in the UK. We are at the Brands Hatch, and yeah, what a fantastic race 1 proved to be, and very much looking forward to and hoping we get the same in race 2. So it's a bit of a weird grid. The grid setup for race 2 is the top 8 in race 1. They then reverse and go to the back of the grid, and then the bottom half, so P9 onwards, all move up. So the guy that finished in P9 starts in pole, which is DB, and then the guy that finished in 10th is 2nd, and 11th. It's all very confusing, but I'm sure you're not bothered. You just want to see some cars racing, don't you? So we will go down the grid. I'm not going to do a grid walk. We did that in race 1, so if you do want to get a closer look at the liveries, just check out race 1, and we do the grid board. But we're not going to do it this time. What we are going to do, though, is just have a quick look at the cars from this angle. So in pole position for race 2 we have DB, then Phaser is in 2nd, Max is 3rd, 4th on the grid is Molepiece, 5th is Pete, 6th is Bazza, Enzo Jack is 7th, Wayne G is 8th, 9th is Harry Poppins, Aussie Rooster is 10th, 11th on the grid is Frowny, 12th is Souness, Viking is 13th, and the winner of race 1, Scott, finds himself in 14th position for race 2. So without further ado, we will ask the guys to get going, shall we? As DB will come around Clark Curve onto Brabham Straight and head towards turn 1, which is Paddock Hill. There's the klaxon, and we are off and racing. Now, I do believe there is a pit stop in this race. Softs and mediums are to be used. At least 2 laps on each tyre, so it's going to be interesting. We'll go through the tyres in a minute as DB takes a very wide line there into Druids, manages to hold on to P1, but Phaser is all over him now as Phaser goes up the inside, and they are now side by side. They've gone up towards turn 4, still side by side. Phaser has managed to get himself on the inside, and up the hill he goes onto Cooper Straight, and Phaser has managed to take the lead, but DB is fighting back. Phaser on the hard tyres as well, so a fantastic start for him. How long he can hold on to P1, we shall see, but DB, well, that caught him out a little bit, very deep into Druids, but he's now fighting back. He's managed to get himself in front as we come down the hill through Surtees onto Pilgrim's Drop. Where's Phaser gone? There he is. The drone flying high to give us these shots as Phaser still in 2nd and chasing DB down. Max just sitting behind there in 3rd. He's got Bazza all over him. Wayne G already picked up a penalty. So I hope that's not going to be a habit. Wayne G, he's serving that penalty. Is that going to allow Harry Poppins through? Oh, he just manages to squeeze through Harry Poppins around the outside of Wayne G. So Wayne G now down into P6. Harry Poppins up to P5. Frowny in 7th. Hopefully they'll all start calming down a little bit, and a big group of cars now. Frowny leading this pack. We've got Molepieces in there, Souness is in there, Aussie Rooster, Viking, Pete, Scott. A big group of cars, so it is going to get very tight and very tricky through these next few turns. Through Druids they go. Who's that's just gone off? It looked, well, I can't see who it was. Who was it? It was Max. It was Max that got sort of pushed out a little bit there, and it was bound to happen. You got too many cars all going in at the same time. Enzo, what's happened to Enzo? I'm just going to go back and see if I can find it. I'm not going back too far. Oh, I am. Blimey. So sorry I missed that, but Enzo Jack all the way down in 14th. Not the start he wanted. He's on the medium tyres, so he'll be changing over onto the softs. I think it's softs and mediums anyway in the GR4s. I know the GR3s have to do hard and mediums, and I'm pretty sure it's softs and mediums for the GR4s, as I've said. So anyway, at the minute, DB for Team Iron Force, and the only reason I know it's Iron Force is because I'm in that team, and we picked that livery, so I'm not a livery expert. I do like doing them, but I don't know what they all are. We do have a mixture of BTCC, Le Mans, NASCAR, it's all sorts. So DB leading then, Phaser still chasing him down on the hard tyres as well, so Phaser doing a fantastic job actually. As we start lap 3, Phaser is hanging on to the back of DB's coattails, who is on the medium tyres. Phaser on the hard, so he's doing a great job so far. Harry Poppins has just taken P3 away from Bazza, so Harry Poppins definitely on a charge. He's on the mediums, so he needs to get up the field and get up in there into the lead as early as he can, while he's got the softer compound tyres, because he will have to change. Oh no, he will have to change the soft. Of course, I'm still thinking Group 3, aren't I? So Harry Poppins on the mediums, Bazza, he's on the hards. He will be swapping on to the softer compounds, the mediums. Oh, hang on a minute, what's going on here? He's on the hards. Oh, it is hards and mediums. It's hards and mediums then for the Group 4. Sorry, it's me getting myself all in a tiz was. I thought it was mediums and softs for the Group 4 guys, but it's obviously not. It's mediums and hards. So ignore everything I said earlier. This is the trouble when you're racing one league and you commentate on another league, you get a little bit confused with it. Anyway, that's my excuse. And I'm sticking to it. Frowny in 5th. With Souness. Oh, Souness is into the pit, so Souness on the hard tyres. He's decided he's had enough of those. He's going to get rid of them. He's done his 3 laps on them. So Souness first into the pits then. Molepiece is in 10th. Wayne G, he's going to go through. Wayne G goes through, or does he? Yes, he does. Just Wayne G just goes ahead of Souness, who comes out of the pits. So Max is in the pits as well. So let's just have a look. Souness is now swapped to the mediums, so it is mediums and hards in this race. So Souness has got rid of the hards. He's got a long way to go on these mediums, so hopefully they'll last. Max has also made a stop. He's out on the mediums as well now. So yeah, let's just hope that these mediums last for these guys. Up at the front then, DB still out in front, and there is quite a battle taking place for P2 as Harry Poppins is all over the back of Phaser. Let's jump on board with Harry Poppins as we go through Hawthorns up towards Dingledale onto Sheen Curve, and Harry Poppins really is pushing Phaser all the way through Stirlings they go onto Clearways, and this is the opportunity I think Harry Poppins wanted. He's managed to get himself alongside Phaser as they go up towards Clark Curve, turn 9. Oh, Phaser, a great switcheroo there for Harry Poppins. What a fantastic move. Let's just have a look at that again in real time, shall we? Or not real time, but outside of the car. We saw it from Harry Poppins' point of view as they're side by side. Phaser's on the inside and gets the turn, but as he get under the braking, Harry Poppins just shoots up the inside. Oh, it looked like Phaser had a think about going into the pits as well, but I think that move just completely caught him out. Fantastic move from Harry Poppins. Phaser in 3rd. Like I say, I think he thought about coming into the pits, but just left it a little bit too late, so he's got one more lap to do on the hards. Viking now up and in the boot of Phaser. Viking on the mediums. He's got Aussie Rooster for company, also on the mediums, so I'm pretty sure it won't be long before these two are challenging Phaser for P3, but Phaser will be coming into the pits, I'm sure, at the end of this lap, because it looked like he wanted to do it at the end of last lap, but that move from Harry Poppins just completely caught him out as Viking Daddy looks to be making the move on Phaser. Phaser's still fighting hard though. Remember, he is on the hard tyres, is Phaser. He's still just ahead of Viking. Viking though trying to get up the inside and does so. What a good move from Viking, nice and safe. Viking moves up into P3. Aussie Rooster also takes advantage and moves through into P4. Phaser now down in P5, but as I've mentioned, I think he does want to pit anyway. It's just going to be interesting to see who of the guys up ahead are going to pit as well. The Viking Daddy's currently in P3. Harry Poppins, well, he is really on a mission, isn't he? And he is on the back of DB. He's not messing about. DB on the mediums, Harry Poppins also on the mediums, but Harry Poppins, he's going to take P1, isn't he? It's just a matter of time. And there we go, into turn one, made it look so easy. I think, to be honest, DB really did just concede that place. He knew that Harry Poppins was quicker. He's on a mission, isn't he, Harry Poppins? So he's now in P1, DB in P2. He's just going to stick with Harry Poppins. I think that would be the best option. Get into the boot and stay there. Viking, though, he is he is moving, isn't he, Viking? Let's have a look. Wayne G with a 131.6, and Viking's last lap was a 131.7, so 1/10 off of the fastest lap for Viking. So he's on it. Aussie Rooster in 4th, Scott in 5th. Wayne G, who got that quickest lap, he's currently in 6th, but he is coming under attack from Bazza. Also Pete. You see Pete and Bazza going side by side. Oh, it's Pete very wide. I think that was because he was side by side with Bazza. I don't think there was any contact. We'll have a quick look. I don't think there was any contact. He just went wide. It's still very hustle and bustle in there. There's just no room, is there? You can see the Bazza's trying to get by. Pete is looking to get by Wayne G, and Pete just goes a bit on the grass. Well, there was a bit of a door bash there, but I don't think there was anything intentional. It was just unfortunate, a racing incident. There was just not enough room for two cars. Oh, and the dirty tyres, and Pete's in all sorts of them. Oh, well, thank goodness for ghosting. Otherwise, that could have been nasty. Enzo Jack just went straight through Pete. But Pete now finds himself down in 12th. He was in the thick of that battle, but he's gone off onto the grass, then onto the gravel because of dirty tyres, and finds himself all the way down now in 12th. Molpees is in 13th. It looks like he's made a stop. And also Max in 14th. So back up to our race leader, and Harry Poppins is looking to put some distance between himself and DB. We're on lap 7 of 17. So these guys will want to take these medium tyres as far into this race as they can. Viking Daddy is all over the back of DB. He is desperate to move up into P2. He really is piling on the pressure, isn't he? As they go side by side through Cooper Straight, down the hill towards Surtees. It's still side by side for Viking and DB. DB has got the inside line, but Viking all the way around the outside and made that look so easy. He's just got to hold on to it now. DB's just going to stick with him. Viking definitely on a mission. He wants to catch up to the back of Harry Poppins, doesn't he? And them two are going to have a bit of a fight if he can. Oh no, and DB's got back again. What's happened? Let's just go back a little bit. And this was the move that Viking did. He went all the way around the outside of DB. DB drops into 3rd. So what happened? Let's have a look. As Viking Daddy, well, I keep calling him Viking Daddy. Well, do you know what? I don't know what happened there. Viking just seemed to slow right down as we went through Dingle Dell. Oh, and then he's come off as well. Oh, don't tell me Viking's had a disconnect. He does seem to be struggling for power. As Scott goes through, Viking was having a fantastic race and got himself up into P2. Something's definitely happened. He's had some sort of technical issue, as brake sticking or a disconnect. You can see the hazards are going. So something's definitely happened to Viking. He's not moving as quick as he was, which is really unfortunate. Hopefully he can get that, whatever it is, sorted out. He's been lagging all night, to be honest, so it could be an internet thing, so hopefully he can get it sorted. Wayne G goes by just. The rest of the pack are going to follow, so it's going to be Frowny, they're going to take it. Bazza's in there, Souness is in there, so there is definitely an issue. Oh, Frowny, what's happened there? What happened to Frowny? Did he just take too much, or I don't know, did he get on the grass? Oh, he was sliding before he went into that turn, wasn't he? He didn't even make the turn, he was drifted into it as Enzo Jack goes through, so Frowny now down to 11th. We're going to go back up and see what's happening up at the top. Harry Poppins, well, he has opened up quite a healthy lead now. Back to DB, so Harry Poppins out in front. DB, well, he is a good few seconds behind, isn't he? He's got Aussie Rooster for company as DB, so these two are going to have a fight. They're on the podium at the minute, the pair of them, but it's just a case of which step are they going to be on. Aussie Rooster for now just sitting behind DB, all the top three on medium tyres. Scott in fourth, he's on the mediums. Wayne G, he is on the mediums, he's in fifth at the minute. Souness, he's on the mediums. Bazza, he's on the mediums. Looks like everybody's on the mediums now. Phaser, well, he's obviously made a pit stop, hasn't he, Phaser, because he was up there leading this race at one point. So Phaser has come in, so all the guys ahead of him have still got a pit. Well, most of the guys ahead of him have got a pit. So Phaser will be hoping to make up a few more places. Viking in ninth. Now, has he got that, whatever it was, has he got it sorted out? It does look like he's back up to speed, although the lag is still there. As we mentioned in race one, the lag is not necessarily his fault. So maybe he's just having a bit of a fight with that car or the internet or something. There's definitely something not right. But it does look like he's back up to speed now. And he'll be challenging Phaser any minute now for P8. Enzo Jack in 10th, Frowny 11th, Molepiece in 12th. All a bit lonely racing for these guys, it's so spread out. Max in 13th, he's not seen another car for a while. And Pete down in 14th, same for him. He's not seen anybody for a while. The back up to the top, Harry Poppins, now he doesn't want to see anybody, especially in his mirrors. So Harry Poppins just cracking on, going about his business. He's still to make a stop though, and I think you've got to run, I think it's a minimum of two or three laps on the tyres. So let's have a look. Out of 17, so to do with 2 laps, he's going to have to come in on is it lap 15? So lap 15 will be the latest that Harry Poppins can leave it. But that's the same for Aussie Rooster and DB and Scott. As Scott looks to make a move on DB and get himself up into P3. Side by side they go. No, DB just drops in behind Scott. Doesn't want to risk it just there. Probably a wise decision, to be honest. He's just dropped off, fight for another day. He's just got to stick with Scott, really. There's still plenty of laps left in this race. We're only on lap 10. We're just coming to the towards the end of lap 10. So another 7 laps to go. So still quite a way. Let's have a look. Wayne G in 5th. So with everybody spread out a bit now, we're just going to see if we can find out on a bit of a race. Viking, well, after whatever it was, technical issue, he's up to 8, so he's got a bit of catching up to do, hasn't he? Phaser in 9th, he's come under attack from Enzo. Let's just jump on board with Enzo Jack as we go across the start finish line. Start lap 11, we've got Phaser in front of us into turn 1, this tricky right hander to clip that inside apex, let the car drift out but not too far up into Turn 2, Druids. This hairpin, get on the power as early as you can, down the hill, through Graham Hill Bend. Use as much as you can on the right hand side. Enzo Jack just looking for his opportunity to get by Phaser. He'll have it in his mind, he knows where he wants to take it, but it's whether he can get close enough. Now they're on the Cooper Straight, and as they start on down the hill towards Surtees, this is a great overtaking opportunity if you can get close enough. Enzo Jack not close enough though to make a move on Phaser just yet. We can just see Viking up ahead as well, so Enzo Jack will have one eye on him, I'm sure, as Viking goes a bit deep into that turn, kicks up a bit of dust. That's going to allow both Phaser and Enzo Jack to get a little bit closer. And you can see this track really is not very wide, and the grass and gravel are just beckoning to you at every turn. But Enzo Jack, he's got nobody behind him at all, so no pressure. He's the one that's applying the pressure on Phaser, keeping him on his toes. But the distance between the three of these guys just pretty much remains. So it's just going to be a mistake from one of them that's going to allow the others the opportunity. So let's just go down the field a little bit. Frowney and Molepiece 11th and 12th, with Max 13th and Pete down in 14th. Harry Poppins though looking very comfortable at the minute. Hasn't made a pit stop yet. He'll know in his mind when he wants to come in. I hope he don't forget. So he's on lap 12. What did I say? I think he's got to come in on 50. If you've got to do a minimum of 2 laps, it's going to be either 2 or 3. So it's either lap 14 or 15 he's going to have to come in. Same for the rest of the guys that haven't pitted yet. Some of them did pit quite early now. I think Phaser was one of them. No, he wasn't. It was... I can't remember who it was now. But somebody did pit very early, and it'd be interesting to see how their tyres have held up. I'm just having a look down at the tyres as we go. Everybody, well, they don't seem too bad to be fair. As Harry Poppins crosses the line to start lap 13, so 4 laps for him. Scott still in second. Aussie Rooster a lot closer to him now though. Aussie Rooster looking at getting up into P2, putting the pressure on Scott. Scott has just got to concentrate on his own race, as we just saw somebody is in the pit doing their stop. We'll have a look at that in a second. I just want to stay with Aussie Rooster and Scott for a few turns, because Scott really is Aussie is really putting the pressure on Scott. We can see Wayne G and Souness having a bit of a battle back there in 4th and 5th as well, so they're now starting to get some little battles going on. As Aussie Rooster chases Scott down the hill of Cooper Straight into Surtees. Aussie not close enough yet. He's just going to have to bide his time, keep the pressure on Scott, hope that Scott makes a mistake. It's the same with Souness and Wayne G. The Souness, he's just going to have to sit there and hope that Wayne G makes a mistake. But both Aussie and Scott are on the podium at the minute, and I'm sure neither of them want to risk that position. But Aussie would love to move up into P2, and if Scott gives him the opportunity, then he's going to pounce on it, isn't he? Aussie just following Scott through turn 9, and across the line they'll go to start lap 14. Let's just have a look at Wayne G and Souness. They're still fighting it out. The P4, Souness would love to take it away from Wayne G. Both on the medium tyres, and both need to stop as well, I think. Bazza down in 6. And we've got Enzo in 7th. Phaser in 8th. Then Frowney. Viking in 10th. Well, he's having a bit of a mixed bag of a race, isn't he? Oh, what happened there? That was close. Viking just, Frowney just seemed to be stopped in the middle of the track. As Viking goes through to take 9th, still wobbling around. Frowney down in 10th. He seems to be having some problems now. Maltese 11, 12th is DB, Max is 13th and Pete is 14th. So back up to Harry Poppins. So let's just have a look. When is Harry Poppins going to come into the pits to put the hard tyres on? Well, it's not this lap. I hope he hasn't forgotten. Well, he's already pitted. Has he pitted? He may have already pitted. Maybe me that got it completely wrong. He may have started on hard. Scott in second. There we see Aussie. Aussie Rooster is in. So Wayne G has now moved up into P3. Sooners in P4, chasing Wayne G down. Bazza in 5th, Aussie Rooster 6th, having made that stop. Quick splash and dash, as they call it. Enzo Jack in 7th. Now, Enzo Jack has got the fuel light flashing away, so he's going to have to pit. We're on lap 15, so he's 3 laps for him. So that fuel is not going to last him 3 laps. So Enzo Jack's going to have to come in. Phaser in 8th, just behind him. He'll move up. I'm sure he will. He'll take that space away from Enzo Jack. Then we've got Viking down in 9th. Brownie 10th. He looks like he's back up and racing. He had a bit of an issue a lap or 2 ago. We don't know what it was, some technical issue. Maltese 11th, DB, Max, and then Pete. So Harry Poppins into the pits he comes at the start of lap 15. Was it the end of lap 50? End of lap 15, isn't it? I knew he'd have to come in. So Harry Poppins, race leader in. Wayne G is moving up into second as Harry Poppins comes out of the pit lane, and he comes out ahead of Wayne G. Wayne G moves up into P2 with Sooners going into P3. Bazza is 4th, Scott is 5th, Aussie Rooster is 6th. So Harry Poppins has made his stop, and he is out. He is on the hard tyres, and he is out ahead of Wayne G. Wayne G though on the mediums. So with 2 laps to go, can Wayne G gain on Harry Poppins and take P1? This is going to be an interesting run up to the end of this race. Although Wayne G, the fuel light is on. Now then, has Wayne G got enough fuel to make it to the end of the race? Sooners in 3rd. Very wide. They really do push the track limits at that turn, don't they? Here's another one with a fuel light flashing. So Harry Poppins, I think he's pretty much got this one sewn up. All he's got to do is he's just keeping on track, really. Wayne G, is he going to get another lap out of this fuel? The fuel light is flashing away. He's not coming in, so Wayne G thinks he can get another lap out of it. He obviously knows better than I do. Same with Sooners. So it's either they've calculated this down to the last thimble full of fuel, or they've been very lucky with it. But either way, if they can make it to the end of the race, it's been a fantastic run for them. Bazza in 4th. He's another one who's sipping fumes, shall we say. Scott is in 5th. Aussie Rooster 6th, Phaser is 7th. Nice little group of cars going on here. Phaser, Viking and Frowny all battling it out for P7. Frowny having a bit of a look at the inside of Viking there. Viking still wobbling around, which makes it difficult for the guy behind him. Again, it's not Viking's fault, but it does make it difficult for the guy following. So let's just let's have a look and see where Harry Poppins is on the track. Now Wayne G is getting closer and closer. Has he got enough lap left? I don't think he has. If Harry Poppins can just stay on course, this is going to be a great run in Harry Poppins just ahead of Wayne G. Wayne G seems to be catching with every rotation of the wheels as they go into the final turn at Clark Curve onto Brabham Straight. Wayne G just goes a little bit too wide, and that's yeah, Harry Poppins, the flash of the light from Wayne G. Harry Poppins across the line to take the win. Wayne G comes in second, Soonest third, Bazza is fourth. What a fantastic battle that was. Scott in fifth, Aussie Rooster, he will come home in sixth. Fraser looks like he's going to make it in seventh unless Frowney can nick it at the line, but it does look like Fraser's going to take seventh with Frowney across the line in eighth. Molepiece will come home in ninth, DB 10th, Viking, well, I was going to say Viking, but it's not, it's Enzo Jack in 11th. Oh, and Viking, well, Viking's run out of fuel, so he will finish in the pit lane. Max will come in 13th with Pete 14th. Well, what a fantastic start to the season, and it is going to be a brilliant season as well, if that's anything to go by. Next week we will be at Deep Forest Raceway. We have 2 more races there, so looking forward to that one, as we're just watching Max cross the line, and then Pete just follows him as well. So there we go, guys. That was race 2 of week 1 of the brand new season. I will catch up with you all next week.